Guys, I told you. Look, I hate saying I told you so, but it was coming. Steve McClaren is not a very good coach. There's a reason why he wasn't a head coach for nearly 5 years now. There's really is he? I mean, there's a difference between being a good football mind and being a good coach. He might be a good football mind, but he's not a good coach. He's not good enough. Yes, will he be good enough to take Jamaica to the World Cup? Yes, but it's not because Jamaica's good. It's just because everybody else in CONCACAF is that bad. Let's be serious. If Jamaica do not, look, mark my words, Jamaica will qualify for the World Cup. If they do not, Jamaica better start playing darts. They should go play another sport, all flat out. If that's the way it's going to be. If they do not qualify with this field, without the U.S., without Mexico, without Canada, you guys are the front runners. Come on. Honduras is horrible. El Salvador is bad. Costa Rica is, I better not even say it. Panama is probably the best team outside of those teams in CONCACAF. Panama. And if you can't come in first or second in this region with this field, then you better start thinking about another sport. Because football ain't for you at that point. And I'm sorry to be so real. I'm sorry to be so honest. But you saw, what was it that, what was Steve McClaren brought for? To qualify for the World Cup and that's it? Okay, let's say they qualify for the World Cup, get knocked down the first round again. You're going to wait another 26 years to get to another World Cup and have the whole thing all over again? Maybe bring McClaren in twice, like you did with Hennessy Moise, like you did with Tappa Whitmore, and then bring coaches that have nothing to do with anything and completely change everything around? That's my question to you. What is the purpose of bringing a Steve McClaren on board? Look, if it's to bring him to the World Cup, then that's perfect. 2 years, gone, done. And then what? I've said it on Sportsmax the times that I've been asked. And people say, well, Honduras is bad. Honduras are bad. It wasn't that Jamaica went to play in Buenos Aires and played Argentina and ended up beating them or drew with them or played in Uruguay, played in Brazil. They played against Honduras. They played against El Salvador. They played against teams they played in CONCACAF. If it weren't for Oceania, CONCACAF would be the worst confederation in the world when it comes to the level of football. Also the most uneven, arguably. Because Mexico and the U.S., and then, of course, Canada gets a little bit less. But those three are the ones that take basically everything. Everybody else is just fighting for scraps. So what's Jamaica going to do differently? I hope that they qualify. I hope that they do well. But you see how the team is, and it's just not going to happen. You don't see it happening with this team. It wasn't going to be a new coach. It had to be a new everything around. Of course, Steve McClaren, yeah, big name, English coach, which there's an infatuation with English coaches in the English-speaking area of the Caribbean. There's a fascination with England, with everything being so great and so beautiful and so, oh my God, he's from England. That's the thing. That's the problem that there is in the Caribbean. This fascination with the English coaches, when you know that English coaches, the old guard I'm talking about, there's some new young ones that are very good and very promising, and they can help create a very interesting project, but those aren't the ones that are being looked at. It's a coach that couldn't help qualify England to a Euro back in 2008. It's a coach that was a middle-of-the-pack coach at best during his best years in the Premier League. So let's be real. I'm just being completely real in terms of Steve McClaren. He did not offer me one bit of, wow, he solved the problem there. Mm-hmm. Mauricio Pochettino didn't have to do too much. He had a better team. The U.S. is a better team. But I never once thought that the U.S. were in trouble of losing a series at all. Not once. Not once. Oh my God, Jamaica's coming back. No. Did they loosen up? Did they? Yeah, but by that time it was 5. It was a 4-0, almost a 5-0 aggregate. Who cares? It was done. The series was done. So Steve McClaren doesn't offer me anything. Steve McClaren didn't offer you anything. Because so far, right now, it's the same Jamaica as always, folks. Let's be completely real about that. Talk to you soon.